Hi guys, welcome to another episode of We Are Never Truly Alone, your favorite podcast with your favorite spirit medium, Tiffany Rice. So today I'm so excited. I always feel like whenever I start my podcast, I'm always saying, I'm so excited because I love meeting so many new people. And today I have a first-time guest on, Jenn Gulbrand. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for coming to my space and for having me as a guest today.
I know. So for everybody that's listening on their way to work or at home, let's talk about this magnificent space that you have. And it's the space that brought us together.
No, it's
essentially
so funny.
Through social media.
We met 2 days ago and we're like besties already.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Okay, so Jenn owns this beautiful space called WeBreathe Wellness, and it's located in Walpole, Massachusetts. And I came across your page because I have a lot of friends in the holistic field that also utilize your space. And so I started following you, and I was just like looking to see like all these amazing events that you have. So for people that are at home and they're not on social media, let's talk about your space for a hot minute, because you're more than just someone that has the space. You're an author, you're a facilitator. You do so much with helping women's empowerment and so forth.
Thank you.
So let's start from the space.
Okay. So the funny story about the space is that I actually signed the lease on March 1st of 2020. And we all know what happened 12 days later.
Oh my gosh.
So that was a little bit of a curveball, but the WeBreathe Wellness Center did officially open in, I would say, June of 2020. And we basically are an inclusive retreat center. We hold space for growth and healing for anyone who is looking for that kind of support. We have co-working. We have a full-service spa with different practitioners and coaches. We have a Zen cafe, so you can come in and have a smoothie or a cappuccino. And then we have a number of different workshops and classes that are offered each and every week. We do social events. We also rent the space out for venues. So we have, oh gosh, we've done everything here. We've done weddings. We've done engagement parties.
Oh my gosh.
Weddings are beautiful in here. We do baby showers, bridal showers, all different kinds of events. Last month I had a double Sweet 16 party in here, which was super fun. The boys were on one side, the girls were on another, but it was really fun. So we do a variety of different kinds of events, but I really consider us kind of a community hub for people to gather and to connect with one another.
That's a perfect way to say that, because, you know, if you guys walk in, this space is so light and airy and you get so much sunlight, although it's a dreary day today, but there's so much natural light.
It really makes a difference.
And there's strings of lights hanging up. There's angel wings for decoration. And then if you guys can hear it in the background, there's a little waterfall. It's just such a tranquil spot.
Well, I'll tell you, I had a lot of time to design it because the world was shut down. So that's what I did during, everybody was at home with their families, and my family was here with me, hanging lights and painting furniture and making my vision come to life. So
absolutely stunning.
Thank you.
Stunning here.
Thank you.
So what made you want to open up this space anyways? Like, are you just corporate minded and you're like, oh, you know what, let's add another business to my plate? And
well, that's an interesting story too. So you can see right across the water area here is another building. And I had a corporate business there for 21 years. And it was a sales training company in the life sciences space. And I always say it fed my family, but not my soul. I did the work. It was honorable. You know, we were helping people, but I was so leaning more towards a holistic lifestyle that I don't even take Tylenol. And here I was working for pharmaceutical companies and biotech companies, training their sales reps on how their drugs worked in the human body. Very, important work. It didn't resonate with me so much over the years. And but like most people in my age group, you just keep plugging away and driving with that masculine energy. And I wasn't really listening to the fact that I was very out of alignment. And then my very best friend, who was 52, got diagnosed with stage 4 non-smoking cancer. And it was like that moment, I just got full body chills telling you this because she's right here laughing in my ear, but because she loves it when I tell this story. So it just kind of shocked all of us. And going through that process with her and her family, our daughters were very close. We had raised them together. it just made me realize how out of alignment I was. And so a year later, a year from the date she was diagnosed, I rented a space down the hall, and she was here for the first 6 months of that endeavor. And I opened a women's center. It was really, at the time, just focused on women, to create a space for them to come together, practice self-care, connect in a really meaningful way, both personally and professionally. And so in many ways, I even named it SheBreathes for Joanne. I'm going to just say her name. I'll get a little emotional. But she just was a really big influence in my life, and I wanted to put something good out into the world in her honor. So that's how SheBreathes became a center. And I was still working my corporate job for another 3.5 years. But at the end of 2019, I knew that it was time for me to just really follow my calling. And so I sold that business. I got all my employees into another really good situation with another company, and that's when I transitioned over here to open the WeBreathe Wellness Center with the intention of offering all of these beautiful things for everyone who needed it, regardless of how they identified in gender.
And what a beautiful story that is. Because I hear so many people where it's like a lot of people don't even start living until they experience something that is tragic, traumatic, a loss,
right?
Because they have this whole new lease on life of realizing how valuable our time is.
It's so true.
And I try to tell people, I really do, because it's in my face all the time. And so I always try to tell people, like, what are you waiting for? Just do this. I feel
take
like
that leap.
Yeah, exactly. Take the leap.
If you stumble, you just get up again and you take another one.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. We all stumble. We all, like,
it's part of the journey.
Life is all about pivoting, and I just find that, like, that Joanne is right here with you.
I can feel her.
And just
she's in my ear laughing at me because she thinks I'm such a nerd sometimes.
Yeah.
When I talk about all the spiritual woo-woo stuff.
Yeah. But she says, I love the bracelets.
Oh, yes, of course she does.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Of course she would.
Yeah.
She likes jewelry.
Yeah, but you have a bracelet for her? Or you were working on making one for her?
I love the bracelets. I'll have to think about that.
Yeah, because she just shows me. She's like, just tell her I love the bracelets.
Aww, that's so sweet.
So, yeah.
She's wonderful human.
She's amazing.
She is.
Yep. And so going back to the podcast instead of spirit talk.
Yes.
Sometimes that
it's
happens.
all kind of intertwined.
Yes, spirit will jump in.
Yeah.
But this is just absolutely amazing. So then, I also mentioned that you were an author.
Yes.
So this book that you have, which you guys at home, you might not be able to see it, but the name of this book that we're going to talk about today, which you have more than one book, by the way.
Yes. I was a little busy last year.
Exactly, right? It's a beautiful, beautiful picture. It's called
you.
Embody Your Essence. And it says, break patterns of suffering and reclaim your joy.
Yes.
So was this book that you wrote something where once you opened up, you went through the experience with Joanne, and then you opened and expanded this brand new WeBreathe Wellness, all of a sudden you felt compelled to write your story?
It's so funny. I would say that it was a little bit of a process, like anything, right? So I'm in the business of, not only do I hold the center and the space for people, but I'm also a coach and a holistic healer. And I tend to blend those modalities because most people you're not going to just fix things through your body or through your brain, right? You kind of need to be working the whole body system.
Right.
And I'm a really big believer that we are so conditioned to think we can problem solve everything in our heads, but we get very disembodied from what's stored in our physical and energetic body.
Absolutely.
So this ability to combine those, that support for people has really been a game changer for me. And I think in going through the process of, losing Joanne, having a lot of personal losses myself, trying to become a mother, and just things that had unfolded for me, I realized that I just felt like it was my purpose to put my raw, authentic story out there as a way to teach others that it's a super healing thing to do. And when you do that, you resonate with other people in a very meaningful way because they read it and they feel less alone. They feel like, wow, I'm not the only person that experienced that kind of a loss. And look at Jenn, she got through it, and she learned ways to support herself, and now to use those learnings to support others. So I don't know, I just felt like it was the next thing that I needed to do as part of, my giving back to the world. And it's interesting because the process of revealing yourself like that is not easy. I mean, I had many moments of fear and doubt of what did I just do?
Right, because you're putting yourself out there. You're allowing yourself to be vulnerable.
Very vulnerable.
When you decide I'm going to be my true authentic self, it's scary.
It's very scary.
But you have gone through, prior to even filming, we've talked about you being adopted, and we talked about you being a bereaved parent, and now losing your friend, and almost ignoring you. How did you say it? You said with your job working in corporate, it was not feeding your soul.
It wasn't feeding my soul. It fed my family, not my soul.
Yeah, it fed your family and not your soul. So with all of this, like at what point in your life did you decide, like, yes, there was this passing of Joanne, but was that the pivotal moment, or do you think that was just...
I think that's what led me more towards this path of healing. Yes. I up until then, I was really driving with my masculine energy, right? That getting stuff done and proving myself and proving my worth and moving things forward, and climbing the corporate ladder and all that external recognition that we are just programmed to crave. And then when I went through that loss with her, it made me just stop and reflect on what was most important to me, what my value systems were, and what I was, what was the energy that I was putting towards that work really fulfilling me inside, my soul, my what I was here to do and to be. And so that process of kind of unraveling and getting more in touch with my divine feminine, my feminine side of just listening and allowing and receiving some of this, the downloads that I had been suppressing for so many years. It was kind of an awakening in many ways. Oh, it wasn't like a moment. It was more of a process of kind of allowing myself to listen to my own inner knowings, and then to use those to reimagine what my life could look like, or the second half of my life could look like, and how I could help other people, because that was really, that's what we're here to do, right? Take our gifts and use them to serve others so that we can make an impact and leave a mark in the world. So
exactly. It's when you get in touch with your divine feminine, it's this mind-blowing, almost this surge of, okay, there's no way I can live my life any other way. But most of us are taught to get a job and become a wife, become a mother, make sure the job gives you that 40 hours a week with benefits, has to have benefits, and make sure you make X amount of money.
And make sure you get promoted every year.
Yes, exactly. And make sure you have that 2-week vacation time, And so you took that leap of faith. You took it. And isn't it funny? Because we talk about energy on my podcast all the time. And it's like when you allow yourself to live on that higher vibrational energy, you end up attracting everything that is meant for you. You become like this magnet of manifestation,
it's
right?
So true.
So how has your life changed from working and do your old ways of life? I'll just say that your old ways of life, feeding your family, not your soul, to now. Like, and this is more so for people that are listening, because I know there's so many people out there that struggle. They feel
stuck.
They feel stuck. They feel blocked. And they don't know if it's with their family dynamics or their career dynamics. So, looking from the other side now.
It's a very good question. I write about this in my book because, again, and we'll get into some of this, I know, later, about limiting beliefs and how we carry these through our lifetimes, and we think these stories about ourselves, and they're all in our heads, right? But I think, so when I made that switch for myself, I started to develop a better relationship with myself. I started to learn about compassion. And it's so interesting because we're so socialized to take care of everyone else, right? And that sort of role that you defined, right? Especially women, you know, we have to take care of everyone and still be good at all those things. So I think stopping and learning about what I needed and honoring that, and being willing to receive and ask for and then receive what I needed was really a big change and shift. And then it's interesting because my relationship started to improve.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
My just desire to like get up in the morning and do what I do. I don't think I've been sick. Knock on some wood. I'm going to knock on some wood.
Right.
I never got COVID. I don't know how. I'm with people all the time. But I think my overall health and well-being switched. I used to get sick all the time.
Yes.
Headaches, and you know, I'd pick up everything, and now I mean I don't get sick. I just take better care of myself, and I don't just mean physically, like emotionally, spiritually, physically. I just feel more whole.
So funny story, I got life insurance, and so I don't know if I got life insurance, and when I got life insurance, they had you do like a physical exam.
Sure.
And they came back and they said, you must be a superhero. I said, what do you mean? You're in the top 4% of like elite physical health. And I'm like,
that's amazing.
If you guys, I mean, I am not a bodybuilder. I do not have a six pack. But
you take care of yourself.
I take care of myself, mind, body, soul. And don't get me wrong. It's not about working out every day. It's not about going to therapy every day, but it's having that balance of mind, body, soul.
And that commitment to yourself, you know, that I remember my father used to say, if you don't have your health, you have nothing. And when I was younger, I thought that was so silly, but now I get it. Like, and it's not just your physical health. You have to be able to feed and nourish your body, your mind, your spirit, so that you can feel more like you can embody your essence and your true nature and be, you know, who you're here to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And, you know,
we have so much wisdom, don't we?
We do. For being as young as we are, we do. But it's true. It's one of those things where, you know, I talk to some of my friends, and my friends are just stuck in the rat race of life, and they're figuring it out, and they went and they have all these degrees, and they're very proud of themselves for doing these degrees, but at the same time, it's like you evolve, right? We continue to evolve. No matter where we are, we're always evolving. So now they've evolved. Their kids are a little bit older, and now they're thinking, well, what's in it for me?
Yeah.
Where is my life? Because now I am however old they are, and they, you know, it's about them trying to take their power back.
Oh, absolutely.
And not feeling guilty about it.
Oh, there's so much guilt.
So it's like, how do they not feel guilty? How do they allow themselves enough expandability to be vulnerable?
Yeah.
And feel good about that.
Absolutely.
So it's always that daily internal struggle.
Yeah. No, it's so true.
So did you feel like you had to get support from other people around you, like family members and friends, or were you like, you know what, this is a me thing?
Funny, it was a me thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I say too.
I say
Aries,
it too. So I just, of course you are.
Yeah, I'm like,
so I just like don't ask. I just do. My poor like husband, he's a Virgo, and he just sort of comes along for the ride most of the time.
Yes. Yeah.
But
we're the most headstrong sign.
Oh,
so
seriously. And my daughter's also an Aries.
Oh my gosh.
So our house was a little loud.
So when you say, hey, it's a me thing, I get it. Me too. I'm like,
Well, when it comes to that kind of stuff, like, I think it's important. We have to honor our own needs.
Right.
You know, and it's not easy.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So here we are.
Here we are. Exactly. And so now here you are to spread your word, and hopefully the people that come into your space get that energy vibration that you're giving off.
Oh, people love it. I mean, I'm all about high vibes, right?
Right,
and creating a space that people feel safe to come to, because that's a really big deal right now. Most of the world is suffering from painful life events or trauma, and safety is a big thing. So when I designed this space, it was really important to me that it felt inviting and warm and welcoming, and to everyone, you know?
Right.
And you can tell when you come in here, just the energy is so supportive and peaceful.
Well, this is my first time here, and it's so funny because for me, it's like, I already said to you, you're going to open up the door one day and I'm going to be nestled in this couch just saying, oh, hey, Jen. Just thought I'd hang out with the spirits today.
Yeah, well, we would love that. I know
Right?
spiritual mediums love our center because I don't know, it's an old building, and I just think there's a lot of
Absolutely.
lovely,
Yes.
lovely people here who like to hang out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what type of tips would you give someone that is wanting to change their life but is in fear? You being a
yes.
coach, and I'm sure you
Yeah.
deal with that a lot. So I'm sure people come to you and they're like, Jen, where do I start? Like, I'm just so frustrated. I feel so blocked. I don't know what to do. I have racing thoughts. I can't sleep. Hormonal changes, because that's a
Yeah,
whole
all
other
the things,
thing.
all the things.
I find a lot of people that are premenopausal,
Yeah.
all of a sudden it's like, now our bodies are changing, and who am I, and what's going on, and what's my purpose?
Yeah.
So how would you
You've just
effectively-
described my entire client base.
Yes, I know. I'm very familiar with that.
I
I'm
know,
very
I
familiar
know.
with that.
I'm teasing.
I know.
Well, we do so many things here. I mean, obviously, everybody's situation is different.
Right,
Every
right.
individual is different. But honestly, the first thing I would probably say is to just give yourself some space and grace to just sit in it. So many of us are not allowing ourselves to feel those feelings. We just feel blocked. We just feel stuck. So to allow yourself that time to just really go inward, and I teach a lot of tools for that. I mean, you wouldn't believe how many people I have to teach them how to breathe all over again because everyone's breathing from up here.
Do you do somatic breathing
I
here?
do.
Oh my gosh, you do?
Yeah, so
Okay,
I
we're going to
teach-
talk later.
Yeah, so I teach breath work. I'm also, because I am a somatic therapy practitioner as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
surprise,
Yeah,
surprise.
because again, we're all disconnected. We're all living from the neck up and thinking we're
Right.
going to solve everything with our brains. But so much of our pain is stored in our bodies. So I do a lot of work teaching people how to get back into their bodies, using their breath. Of course, a lot of vibrational energy and sound healing. I think
Yes.
sound healing is a game changer for my practice.
I love it.
It's literally.
Do you do sound healing, or
I
do you have
do.
somebody else?
No, I do sound
do it?
healing. I do sound baths here. I incorporate it into my moon circles. And I have in my treatment room, you'll see, I have the sound bowls actually on tables attached to my treatment table. So when you are on my treatment table, the vibrations are coming through the table. It's amazing.
So girls, because I know it's primarily girls that are listening, girls and guys, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. It really doesn't
You're all
matter.
welcome here.
We're all welcome. But what I will say is, instead of driving to work, maybe you should be driving to WeBreathe Wellness in Walpole. Just saying.
Yeah, we have co-working 3 mornings a week. But just to get back to your question. So, I mean, the message really is that you need to give yourself the space and the grace to sit in your emotions, to feel what you're feeling, because if you don't feel them, you can't heal them, right?
Right.
And so once we identify and unravel the fears, the things that are holding us back, those limiting beliefs in our heads, those stories about that we're this or we're not this, that we're not
Right.
enough or we're not worthy. We have to identify those things, feel them, and then we can move the energy of them
Right.
and start to replace them
Right.
with more positive mindset and tools. And, let's learn some breath work. Let's do some movement. Let's do some embodiment, somatic exercises, and learn how to get that stuff up and out. And then you can your path will become more clear and where you're going next, because you'll feel empowered and with the tools that you need to move yourself through those moments of like, ick that we all get.
Exactly. And we don't realize how much stored emotional grief is within ourselves.
So much. I say to people, it's like 20% in your head and 80% in your body.
So with somatic healing, I know for me, I've always had tight hips.
Yes.
And so
Most women store all of our grief in our hips, and particularly your right side. Is it more your right side?
well, my left side.
Your left side.
But it's because
Okay.
I have an old injury on my left side.
Okay.
Yes.
So all of our grief and resentment and just sadness typically resides in our hips as women. And so there's a lot of beautiful things that you can do, a lot of exercises that you can do, much of it in yoga as well, but that you can do to kind of get that energy unstuck. And of course, we do that when we do the energy work as well. But that is it's not uncommon for women to feel that way.
Does it matter what side, left or right?
No, so right side is very often what I see, and that's what I myself experience, because that's your masculine energy, kind of you're leaning too much into your masculine, which is what I did for the first 50 years of my life. So I know all about that.
Right, right.
Your left side tends to be more your access to your divine feminine. So you're either underutilizing, under accessing that. Typically, that's what it is. If it's your left side, that you just need to be more cognizant of inviting in those energies, those softer energies of receiving.
I have to be more soft.
And well, no, just receiving and allowing and sitting in stuff. But most of us as women, we're so socialized to lead with our masculine. So we lean in to the get shit done. Can I say that?
Yeah, absolutely. You can say whatever you want, girl. This is a free world over here.
Yeah. So, but hips are a big deal for women. And that's why whenever I have any physical pain, it's always my right hip.
Yep.
So, but I know it's not even, it's energetic. So then I know how to kind of work with that.
Wow. This has been amazing.
It's so fun to have you here.
Right? I'm so glad that you invited me here to do the podcast.
Thank you.
And
I know we're going to have you doing gallery readings here, so people should watch your schedule.
Yes, gallery readings. I can do meditation.
Yeah.
I can do so many things. So
we look forward to it.
I'm so excited.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my gosh, you're welcome. And guys, you have to come and check out Jenn's space called WeBreathe Wellness. Yeah. Her book entitled Embody Your Essence is out now. And for anybody that wants more information on you, or maybe wants to figure out how to get in touch with you for coaching, or maybe attending an event here at your space, how can they find you?
So the WeBreathe Wellness website has our schedule all over it. So, and we're also on Instagram and Facebook. My personal offerings are on, I am Jenn Gulbrand on Instagram, Jenn Gulbrand Embody Your Essence on Facebook, and of course I have a website. Guess what that is? JennGulbrand.com. So pretty easy to find us and all of our offerings, and we encourage everyone to come and just enjoy the space and connect with people in our community, because it's a very special place.
Absolutely. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to have you back on.
Thank you so much.
I feel like we have so much more to talk about.
I know.
So, guys, don't worry. Jenn will be back on. I promise you that. So,
thanks so much.
And anybody who's listening, I hope you have an amazing day. And until next time.